viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto channel. If you're new here, welcome to our channel. We have a 1999 Dodge Durango. It was sent to us by another shop. They're having a hard time getting the blower motor working, so for the heater, air conditioning, what have you. Apparently the blower motor doesn't work. Haven't looked at it yet, but they've replaced apparently the blower motor, the resistor, the switch that controls it, and the ignition switch. It still doesn't work. I was told they hooked up a toggle switch, but when they turned it on, it blew a 30 amp fuse. Not real sure, what's going on there. Thought I'd bring you guys along, have a look at it, and see what we can figure out. So here it is. He said he left everything tore apart. So we will turn the key on. See if we hear anything funny. I hear the motor doors moving. Sounds like they're vacuum. Yeah, they are vacuums. I could hear it hissing, but definitely no operation. Over here on the passenger side, I do see a couple of wires. I have no idea where they go to, but they've been cut. They don't look like they were... Okay, so that's a cutoff green and a cutoff black, which must be these two. And they go up to... Well, I'm going to assume it's a blower motor because I see a hole cut through the box here. Exhaust manifold, extra spare exhaust manifold in case we need one. But I see the squirrel cage way back in there. Let's see what we got. A pair of pliers here laying on the floor. Maybe we can make sure that the squirrel cage turns. Well, let me get something here. Let me get a long pick. I just want to reach in there and make sure that motor's not seized up. Kind of has me concerned. Oh. Well, the motor spins just fine. I think before we get super far in our diagnosis, assuming that these are the wires that go to the blower motor, we first should make sure real quick that we have a good blower motor. My only concern there is because he said, that they did put a toggle switch on it, but it went up in smoke, I'm guessing. So we'll just grab let me just grab a power probe. Or actually, I'll just grab my jump pack. Just make sure it's hooked that little guy right there. Oh, it scared me. Did you see that? All right. Blower motor has the ability to blow. That's as far as the guesswork as we're going to do. Set this over here. Now that we know it has the ability to work, we will just leave it unplugged. I don't know which one's power, which one's ground. And proceed as usual. Get us wire diagram, see where things are located. I have no idea even where the resistor lives in this or anything, to be honest with you. So let's just get a diagram and find out where in the thunder fuse is and who's supposed to have power, who's supposed to have ground. And let's keep on trucking. I printed us out some diagrams. What I'll do, because sometimes people want to actually look and follow along for some reason. They're not just here for my charming good looks. I'll put a link to the wire diagrams in the description. If for some reason I forget, yell at me in the comments. I printed out some OEM diagrams and a colored one because sometimes it's nice to have it all on one page, but never believe your colored wire diagrams. In that case, never believe your OEM wire diagrams because sometimes they can be wrong. So what we're going to do is we'll see if we have anything here, power or ground. So we'll just take let me turn down my light here, it's kind of shining back through. Let's see here. So for power to get to the blower motor, it first has to come through the relay. So we have a 5 amp fuse outside, must be power distribution, yep, so a 40 ampere. Number 5 goes through, that's our load side of the relay. So when the relay is turned on, which it is turned on, how is that turned on? Hot in run position, so it doesn't even take any switched inputs from the heater unit to turn this relay on. So theoretically we should have power here. So here's our 40 amp on the load side, here is our 15 amp on the control side. Goes right to ground, and as soon as this fuse 7 gets power in the on position, this relay should close, and we should have, on the dark green wire, we should have 12 volts here, completely independent of any of this, hocus pocus up there. So what we need to do is find us a ground. The dash grounds are usually a little sketchy. Everything else is painted blue. Here we go. We'll go right off the door striker. Get the old vice grip test light 2.0 hooked up. The key is on, so theoretically dark green should be nice and bright and shiny. And it's not. However, we need to test our test light. See if I can hit the middle of the cigarette lighter without blowing a fuse. No, that's not right in there. Let's try this power outlet. Ah, there we go. Test light works. We verified that. I've got nothing there. Let me just check the back side. Nothing. Nothing. So there. We've just isolated down a portion of our diagnosis, which is nice. Now we still could have more problems, but our first problem is we have no power going to the blower motor. And that could be one of two things. Well, it could be multiple things, but we could have blown fuse. So first fuse we'll check. Left end of dash, fuse number 7, 15 amp. We'll check that, and then we'll see if we can get the hood open, and we'll go under the hood. And then of course, we got an option of broken wires, bad relay, you name it, ignition switch. But apparently the ignition switch already been replaced. So let's go over to the left end of the dash. Oh, this is awkward. I'm trying to work around you. It's kind of like I'm giving you a backwards hug right now. All right, let's see. Number 7. It said number 7. That is number 7. Rear defogger, front blower. So hold that like that. Oh man, that fuse looks like she's been a little toasty at some point. All right, we got this in the right direction. Let's just make sure. Yep, circuit breakers are down there. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bag. So it should go 5, 20, 15. Yep, okay. There we go. Let me clamp on. Scope on a rope 2.0. Key is on. Voltage. No voltage. Voltage, no voltage. If this is just a freaking blown fuse, I tell you what. Where did that little guy go? Maybe they solved the problem, didn't check the fuse. That fuse is smoked. Let's grab a new one. New fuse is obtained. Key is still on. Let's stick it in and see if it goes up in a cloud of smoke. If I can wiggle it in. Okay, it's in. I don't smell smoke. Power, power, power. Got everything we need there. Let's go back over to the passenger side. Clip the old scope on the rope back on right here. See if we made any progress. Hey, we've got progress, okay? Now, the big to-do is, oh man, leave my Tesla right there, she's stuck. We will substitute our blower motor with a 4 amp light, which is nice and bright. Let me turn the blower. That's on low. Next one up, next one up, next one up. Ta-da! Are you mother-loving kidding me? This is going to be the silliest repair video I ever did for another shop. Let's see. Who's pot? Well, we already know that, you ding-dong. So we'll put dark green back in there. We'll put black back in there. And the blower motor's humming, baby. I'll be jiggered. This is frustrating. I was hoping to give you guys something super sweet, but so we got something super lame. Oh man, this thing smells like cig of weed. Shut that off. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I'm just gonna call them at this point and ask them if they had been having problems. I don't know. Let's I mean, we could throw an amp clamp on that circuit to see if it's doing anything funky, but so pull that back out. Now the fuse we took out, it does, appear to be the same as the fuses they're in, as far as like the same brand. It's a clear case. A lot of the aftermarket ones we buy, even through Littleman are, like this foggy colored case. I don't know. Let's just see how many amps the little guy's pulling, and we'll just run it through our meter, which is only fuse protected at 10 amps. But it's a 15 amp circuit, so it's probably only drawing about, I don't know what else runs off from it. It's got to be more than just the control side of that relay. So we're just going to run it through our meter. If it blows the fuse, well, so be it. Oh, what can we do? Amps? Amps internal. Okay, where are we at here? 10 amps. We're at 0 right now. Kick the key on. Key's on. Blower motor's on. Like I say, right now it's just controlling the control side of that relay. So no matter what speed we put it on, we're only pulling what, 20 milliamps or 200, you know, 0.2 amps. So no matter what speed we put it on, that should not change. See what I'm saying? The only way that should change is if we turn the heater off. Let's see. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. Because that relay is on, we have to shut the key off. So you shut the key off. There you go. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Turn the key on. Relay's engaged. No excessive current draw. 7. Meter control. Where? Show me fuse 7, little fella. There it is. So what we could do, let's see, we could look on a power distribution diagram, see what all that fuse runs. Perhaps, you know, perhaps it runs something else and they're turning on some other accessory and, you know, snapping that fuse, or, you know, somebody did some fiddling and things they ought not be fiddling in and blew the fuse. I don't know. I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm not going to waste a whole ton of time on it. This is pretty quick. What we'll do, like I said, I'm going to look at power distribution, see what this fuse runs, fiddle with them accessories. I'm not going to go and start wiggling wires and, you know, really 100% looking. Let's see where that goes, see what else it runs. 15 amp circuit, it's got to run more than just the control side of that relay. So I just print this out, color one. So fuse 7, junction block, this is where we're at. Blower motor relay, which we know. AC compressor relay, it also runs, so it's going to be the control side of that. AC low temperature cutout switch, rear wiper defogger switch. So I'm assuming it's these little guys down yonder. Now it's a 15 amp circuit. This does not control the rear window defogger. That brought it up to 0.3 amps. Oh! I think we found your problem, lady. Because my 10 amp fuse just went up in a cloud of smoke, Cheech and Chong style. Okay. That's what I love about the snap-on meter. We got just a regular old, plain old back in here. Oh, come on, you mother lover. Get out of there. Oh, yeah, I tell you, it's nice. Right, that little sucker. There we go. She did not like that rear window wiper being activated. I blew my fuse. So what we'll do, we'll take, I'm going to unplug my meter. We will shut that off. We will plug in the regular fuse. And we're going to move the camera because I'm pretty sure it's going to snap. Okay, everybody be quiet. See if we can hear it blow. Did you hear it blow? I did. Ta-da! She smoked. Okay? Smoking a pancake. Let's put that back in. Let's make sure our blower motor works. It does. We turn on the rear wiper motor though. Pow. Looks like she might have been stuck for a while. I don't know if that thing opened or not. We can do the quick fix on it. Oh, look at that. Whoa! Dropped your sucker. Oh crap, thought the gate was coming down on me. Well, that's about freaking convenient. Oh, the panel's off. I like you. Let's go like that. And we'll take a big fat guess that the motor is shorted. That's super convenient with the thing being ripped apart. Alright. Let's go in here. Let's crank it up. Nailed it. And that, folks, is that. We're going to leave it at that. So good thing we looked. Of course, I got to get a, whoops, lost my fuse. Got to get a fuse from a meter put back in it. But like I say, no big deal. 10 amp minis. If you're using just a regular meter, you know, fluke or whatever, before you take a chance of blowing the fuse in the meter, make sure you have a replacement fuse. One of the meters I have, the fuse is outrageous. It's like $8 or $9 for the little fuse that goes in it, and it's specific to that meter. And it's, you know, it's got one for the low amp side, like a, I don't know, 250 milliamp fuse, and then it has, you know, the 10 amp or 8 amp, whatever it can handle, fuse. And they're both super expensive. So very rarely, if I use that meter, will actually run any current through it for fear of blowing it. This one, I don't care. It's just a, you know, automotive fuse. Fantastic idea. So, good thing that we got the power distribution wiring diagram and figured out the actual root cause of the problem. Now, chances are, perhaps they were replacing that fuse and it kept blowing and couldn't figure out why. I don't know. I don't ask a lot of questions. Other shops drop them off. A lot of you guys, you know, come at me and will say like, oh, I can't believe you do that. I charge them like 100 times more or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Car's broke, we're gonna fix it. It doesn't matter if a shop dropped it off or if a customer dropped it off. I just go about it the same way. Look at the system, don't really care what they did. It's just, it's broke. You know, car's broke, gotta fix it. That's all you need to know. So we're gonna keep motoring. I'm gonna leave the rear wiper motor unplugged. Obviously that's our short. There is no short in the harness. Otherwise, when we turn that switch back on, it would have blown that fuse immediately. You know, let's say if it was shorted out in the flex on the tailgate or somewhere through the headliner or wherever the wire runs, unplugging the motor did it. Now, if we left that switch on and plugged that motor in and, you know, blew the fuse, then, you know, it'd prove you, but I think we've proved enough. The blower motor works. I did the job I was asked to do, and you guys got to learn a little lesson. I've done another video called Why Did the Fuse Blow? And that's usually what you have to figure out. Blowing fuses don't wear out. So that sometimes can be the tricky part, figuring out why it blew, what shorted. Best way to do it, if you know you put the fuse in, everything works, power distribution, see what else runs on that fuse, and hopefully you can track it down. And you know, most of the time you can, but sometimes you can't. And you know, if you got some weird intermittent where that wire is just barely touching something, they can be a pain in the neck. Enough rambling. We're gonna get moving. Find us around on the socials, limited to Google Plus and Facebook, Patreon. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that. Just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.